Hello.
Hey there.
Hello. Yes, so happy Tuesday.
Friends back together.
Yay.
It's been a couple weeks.
It has been a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
So we were in Texas this last week, and so we didn't get to come together and do the podcast. So how was your Tuesday last Tuesday, not hanging out with us?
I missed it. And actually, I had several people that contacted me and said, hey, where was the live?
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
they did. Yeah.
I
and
love
so
that.
they were like, I just finished last week, so I was looking forward to today's. Like, did I miss it? Where to go? And I was like, oh, sorry. Like,
Oh.
they're out of town. You know,
Mhm.
we're doing a training, a destination training. And so,
Mhm.
so we're anticipated by our
That's-
listeners. So it's
That's
that's
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
It is encouraging.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, I
It
thank
really
you
At
guys.
least we know that we've got a couple people out there listening.
Hey, and they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. I look forward to it. So
Well, and you know,
amazing.
I've had people tell me too that we make a mistake by posting the live because they're like, they won't go to your, to your podcast because they're watching it on Facebook. And I'm like, I mean, as long as they watch it, as long as like
Right.
we're reaching the people that the Lord wants us to reach, like,
Mhm.
the rest of it's just kind of for
Yes.
self, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for self-validation of, 16 people listen to my podcast, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think the Lord's killing that in all of us anyway, right? So
Yeah.
he's probably fine with us just doing the Facebook Live.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
good with just the Facebook Live.
Right,
But if you miss it on live and or if you know somebody who doesn't have a Facebook,
right.
they want to listen.
Well, and we
The
did,
podcast.
and we did start the YouTube channel. So I only have the one posted right now, but we're gonna have I'm recording not on Facebook Live. I'm just recording so that we can upload those videos to YouTube as well. So there will be multiple ways of people listening if they choose to, but
Yeah.
it's just nice to know that somebody is,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And it's cool to be able to send that link. Whether it's for the
Yeah.
YouTube or where the actual podcast is being aired. Because for people who aren't on Facebook,
Yeah.
Right.
and they want to support in here. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you guys.
That's really, really cool.
It is good.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
we super appreciate it, honestly. So, what's going on with you, Crystal? How's life? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we all getting hit like by the steamroller right now?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Did you say steamroller? Because I believe I sent a picture of a picture of a steamroller to somebody this past week. Seriously.
But I mean, that's
Oh,
what
gosh,
it
that's
feels
funny.
like, when your body hurts because of all of the, because, we don't talk about the spiritual warfare manifesting in your body,
Right.
where you're like carrying and you feel it and you're tired and weary and stuff like that. Like, we don't really talk about that, do we?
Mm-mm. No.
No, and that really, really is, I think, just on the very practical, natural side of things. I think that's why, we do have to be cautious with like stress,
Right.
releasing the things that we don't need to carry because
Right.
we do know, I mean, even scientifically, if we want to go there, that stress is carried in our cells and that can weaken our immune system and it can cause a whole host of other issues for us.
Right.
Whether it's like you said, your body aches, you get tense, you get tight, the headaches, and so yeah, it's just a caution to just watch out which what can you work through, and what's the Lord processing you in, and
Right.
what are the things that you need to release that because it's
Right.
not going to be good for you.
No, that's good.
Yes, ma'am. No,
Yeah.
it's true. I know. I have felt like a steamroller rolled over me and
Yeah.
backed up and rolled over me again and backed up. Like it just. I feel like that.
We're making sure she's done.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I just need to rest. I just need to rest. And I went to bed really early last night and still did not
Right.
rest.
Right.
And so now I'm wondering, maybe I need more of a release through exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe it's not so much rest that I need, but I need a stress relief.
Move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I was really thinking about going when I would normally go home to rest today instead of going home to rest before service tonight, go for a really long, vigorous walk.
Yeah.
Oh, today would be a perfect day to do that. too, 'cause it's
Yes.
beautiful outside.
Mhm.
We've got some
Yeah.
sunshine.
Yeah. See, I think that says a lot about me because you're talking about. I'm like, it's beautiful outside. So yeah, but any other time, if it's cold or rainy, no, that's
true.
not a good
That's
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's hard to walk in rain,
Yeah.
Yeah, but cold, I can do cold.
Well, you're always welcome to join me at the gym.
Oh, girl, no. It has taken me 51 years to realize that I am not going to go to the gym. And
It's not fun.
I'm there. Like, I have paid into the gym for years and never went because I was self-deceptive.
I was lying to myself.
I was lying to myself. I'm just not going to do it. I'm good. Now, you talk about hiking.
Oh yeah.
Or a run.
Mhm.
Well, maybe not a run. I could
brisk
work up
walk.
to a run. I
Yeah.
could work up to a run. A
Yeah.
brisk walk
Mhm.
or, something outdoors.
Right.
I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
all for that, but
No,
I'm just not
it's
going to do a
definitely
gym.
easier. It's definitely like the gym. You're just like, it's just not fun. I'm sorry.
I like nature.
It's
Yeah.
not
I like
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah.
like the whole time I'm on that stupid treadmill. I'm like putting all of my anger towards it because I hate it.
Okay.
Like, you're lying
Are you
to me.
stomping it?
Yes, I'm like, you're lying to me. This has to be
It's
more than a
extra
mile.
calories. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, you can't judge distance very well, obviously, because I've been walking on this thing for a long time. I feel like I should be there. That might be prophetic.
It might be.
That's funny.
Yes.
It's
It might be. Yeah.
Anybody else relate? Anybody? Like
No.
this is
Yeah, I have to be mentally engaged
Right.
in order to
Yes.
work out.
Yeah.
And like the scenery and different things
Yeah.
that does that for
It
me.
Yeah,
stimulates.
me too.
Mm-hmm.
But a gym is as boring
Yeah.
as
Yes,
it gets.
it
I mean,
really
it
is.
is just
It's
like,
monotonous.
yeah, I
Mhm.
can't.
You know what the gym has though is the water massage table afterwards, which is kind of like the reward.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Well-
I haven't went.
so
I don't know
so
if
how
that
much a month
exists.
do you pay just for the water massage?
Well, I have the black card, so you can come with me for free.
Okay, because I was thinking that might be cheaper than actually going and paying for a massage somewhere. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if they have that. I don't know if you can bring your friend to the massage table or not, but it's $20 a month.
Oh, that's definitely
Yeah.
cheaper than a massage.
Yeah.
I don't know as it is good as a massage.
No,
Okay.
no, it is not.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I definitely still would love to. I've been, wanting a massage, but like, and people be expensive, and look, I love them. Everybody like you are worth the money that you charge, especially all the entrepreneurs out there. Like, you are worth it. Some of us ain't got it though, So like, maybe get like, how can I get a 5-minute quote? Like just a 5-minute, just a shoulder.
Give me what you got. I'll take 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but no, there's no comparison to that, I think. But I take what I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're all getting our butt handed to us then.
Mm-hmm.
Praise be to God. That's
Mhm.
excellent, right?
Oh yeah, it's bringing all kinds of tears up, isn't it?
Well, yeah, the pruning, and I feel like maybe even the humbling, and like, I don't know, at least it was for me. It was very much a week of just being humbled.
Yeah, I do think it's funny that we are going through similar processes, and at the same time,
Mhm.
but it's just manifesting in different ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
at the core of it, it's still the same
Yeah.
same thing,
Mm.
and so funny.
You say humbling. I mean, I told her as soon as we got to Texas,
Mhm.
I was like, all I'm hearing the Lord talk about is humbling.
Really?
Is humble yourself. Humble
Yeah.
yourself. And like, you think that, humbling yourself is, of course it's going lower, but whenever he's telling you to do something to put yourself out there
Yeah.
that is
Right.
viewed by other people
Yeah.
That's
that is not
Mhm.
what they would consider humble, but yet it's the Lord
Mhm.
that, and you're like, you don't want to do it,
Right.
but he's telling you to get up in front of them and take your place.
Yeah.
That's humbling.
That's very
That's
humbling.
humbling.
That's
It's
very
humbling because you know, there.
Well, and again, you know, I think we talk about this a lot, but how hard was it for Moses to write that he was the most humble man on the face of the earth?
Right.
But he wrote that knowing that he knew the people that would be reading it.
Yeah.
You know, and like you still are not allowed to have an opinion of yourself. You have to hear the Lord and what he says. You just have to acknowledge and I mean, it kills you. It kills your flesh.
Yeah.
To acknowledge what God says about you and to make you take center stage sometimes when you just want to hide in the back.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason, part of the preparation, part of it being so hard is to make sure that when you do stand up and you stand in that place, you really are just him at that moment, because there's no part of you that wanted to be there, and you've just died to that whole self-preservation, self-protecting, you know, fleshly side that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, a couple weeks ago, whenever the Lord was talking, he started talking to me about like humility a couple weeks ago, actually. And I'm thinking, oh, this is all great revelation. Not putting two and two together that, oh no, honey, this is the road you're getting ready to walk down.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But the thing was, and the thing that stuck out to me was lower still is closer still, Marcy.
Yes.
Wow.
Lower still, humbling yourself, going lower, even, you know, getting down, going low is closer to him.
In the dirt. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the process we're on together.
Yay.
None of us are by ourselves.
We go together. It is really helpful though to know that people can relate to your process, even if it looks different though. That people can see the similarities and they can say, oh, yeah, that sucks. You know, with you, because sometimes that's all you need to hear is, yeah, that's hard. And it gives you the acknowledgement of, I'm not being over dramatic. I'm not, you know, being run away with my emotions, because that's my big thing is I hate being emotional. And, you know, when things come at you and it's really hard, the first thing, anytime I have an emotion, the first thing in my mind is, you better shut that down. You know, that's like, we don't do that. We don't show people like weakness and emotion. But sometimes you just have to acknowledge it and be like, yeah. And whenever people do see the emotion and they're like, oh, you're okay, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay. You know, it really does help.
You know, well, this week was very emotionally hard for me.
Right.
Really emotionally hard.
Right.
And I'm standing in my bathroom mirror this morning getting ready, and I go back to that place in my mind of what was so hard, and it was because I was hurting so bad. It was it was a place of really deep hurt in me. And I'm sitting there and I start to tear up again, and I hear the Lord say, who said you were hurt? And I'm like, well, I thought I was hurt. He's like, you're indulging the flesh dying, Marcy.
Right.
It was part of your flesh that had to die.
Right.
And yeah, you know, your flesh, when it dies, it hurts.
Right.
But you're not hurt.
Right.
You're not hurting.
Right.
And it's so different. It's so different. So it's a place that you embrace the suck.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't get self-indulgent.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just remember that you asked for this. You know, when you prayed that prayer.
Yeah.
Lord, I just want to be more like you.
I just want to see you, Lord. He says, okay, you're going to see me. But you know, in order to see him, sometimes like you have to become blind to everything else.
That's the truth.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that really is like the whole partaking in the suffering, right?
The fellowship.
It's
Well,
the part of it.
it's-
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the part that we don't realize that we've signed up for when we said, yes, Jesus, make me like you.
Right,
I
because
wanna
we were
be
feeling
Christ-like.
that we were feeling those euphoric, you know,
Yeah,
feelings in
yeah.
those moments. That was
the honeymoon.
that was the worship, you know, that we're
and
high on life.
thankfully, we still have those.
Of course
we
in
do.
the midst of the suffering.
Absolutely.
But where a lot of people miss it is they think that it's all that and
And
never
it's not.
suffering,
Right.
and then
And
they fall off the wagon whenever it gets
Whenever the
hard.
suffering
Right.
comes.
Well, and then we're
Yes.
casting out demons, and we're rebuking the enemy, and you know, like,
And
Lord,
it's
save
really-
me from this.
right,
and he's
but
like,
it's
no,
really
I'm
the
making
Lord.
you more like me.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
you asked
Yeah.
for. Like,
Yeah.
we just had to purge this thing off
Right.
to make room for more of me.
the
and
crushing.
yeah, the crushing.
The
It
crushing.
is.
And it's for your benefit.
Yeah.
And that's the part that you know, people don't get in the midst of the crushing, that this is not only just for your benefit though, but it impacts everybody around you too.
Amen.
If you'll just embrace it and just get over yourself
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, okay, it really does suck, but this is where I am and this is where you are, and we're just gonna get through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Lord will use it. He'll use all things. Like, that's the beautiful part about walking with Him, is that nothing is wasted. The
Yes.
bad, the good, the ugly, like, none of it is wasted.
Yeah.
And it really is a setup for what's coming in the future, because I feel like we need all of those little lessons and milestones, and because as we've seen, like, there are people that will come in your path, and they need that lesson that you learn, and it's like, oh, I have something I can share with you. And it's not to tell them, like, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, hey, in my experience, this is what happened to me, and it looks like it's kind of similar to you. So take what you will, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
and I can relate to you. It wasn't a fun process, but I'm here now, and I think it's that part that gives them the joy, the hope, like the
hope,
reassurance
absolutely.
that, like, oh, and you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not completely fallen apart and destitute and without, you know what I
Right.
mean, and cast out. Like, no, you're not. So I think it does. It brings such a reassurance and a hope to people when you can kind of pull out of the.
You say, look, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
We are.
Jesus,
We're gonna
make it.
Mhm.
No, I also think that, you know, one thing that I carry with me through the crushing process is the past crushings
Amen.
and
That's
good.
the faithfulness, like
Mhm.
seeing how faithful He was in those moments where I knew I was just in over my head and there was nothing I could do.
Mhm.
And I've been in quite a few of those,
Mhm.
and they're not comfortable, but you get to see His faithfulness in that moment, and I wouldn't trade that for
Amen.
anything. Like, I was created to see Him, and part of seeing Him is really birthed in that crushing process.
Yep.
Yes.
And He's worth it.
Yes.
He is worth it.
Mhm.
Yes.
I would have to say I definitely can relate to that. That in those moments, like, where it just feels like, ugh, I don't want to go through this. And He's like, but remember, you know, and it's like, okay. And so now it makes sense, like in Deuteronomy, where, you know, the instruction is like to remember all the things that the Lord has done for you. Like,
yes.
write it out. Like, make sure you're telling your children about it.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
don't hesitate to talk about it often. Like, this is what the Lord's brought me from. So there again, the power of the testimony.
Yes, that's
Yes.
one thing. Bill Johnson, I'll never forget hearing him teach that. He's like, when you can't hear the Lord
Mm-hmm.
and you can't see Him,
Mm-hmm.
you can always remember,
That's
Amen.
and that remembrance will lead you into a place to where
Yes,
then
it
you
will.
can see and you can hear. That's so good.
Mhm.
You know, the remembrance part.
Well,
That can never be taken.
no, and in those places where you feel dry and you feel, you know, that you're just parched and you're hungry and all of those things, when you start to remember again, it's like it just refreshes
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and all of a
It does.
sudden, you know, you are encouraged, even though the point of the testimony is for someone else,
Yes.
right? It's to glorify the Lord, but in the process, like, you're being fed and you're being watered and you're being nurtured too, just by because you relive it.
Right.
Yes.
You
Oh, yeah.
relive it when you know, go back in your memories, and so
Mhm.
you're like encouraged again, like, oh gosh, I remember. It was like it was in the same moment.
Right.
You know, it doesn't lessen.
Mm-hmm.
The testimony of Jesus does not lessen. You
Right.
still are just as excited in the moments that you come back to that place of remembrance and honor for Him. You're like right, but like it just happened all over again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
So there's hope,
There is hope.
Right.
There's always hope.
right?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
always hope. Hope is a person.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I've got a whole like ongoing series in my book right now, or maybe I have a series of books of my life, you know, where it's like, oh, I can go back to quite a few where I remember the Lord coming in for me, and you know, we got to see the process play out, and later on it's like, oh, you were there, and here I am, and I'm reaping the benefits of that now, and
Right.
now I'm thankful for that thing.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you always end up thankful,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and that's what blows your mind too. Is you know, you not only can get to this place where you're thankful, but you are, okay, Lord, I can do this again. You know,
Amen.
we can endure the crushing again if it's for your glory and for your benefit,
Amen.
and for, you know, all of the people around us. We can go back into that hole. You know, like Joseph. I've been thinking a lot about him, like
Me too.
going into that pit for other people.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't there for himself. Like Stephen was talking about that. Like he wasn't there for himself. He was there for his family. He was
Yeah.
there for all these people that didn't like him.
Right.
Like he was there to save them, and they despised him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and he went through all this suffering, and yes, he got benefit from it, but it was to the benefit of nation,
Yeah.
not just him.
That's the big picture, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Keep the eye on the prize.
Yes, and the prize is always Jesus.
That's
It's
right.
just Jesus.
Our
That's right.
crushing is for everybody around us, not
It sure
just
is.
us.
Amen.
Yes, yes. So, you know, don't be dramatic about it. Just embrace the suck.
And
That's
if you
the
have
message
to be
today.
dramatic about it, it's okay. Just have good friends that you can be dramatic with, and we just get it. It's just like,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry.
Well, and the thing is once you kind of get it out, I think that again you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
let's keep going.
Right.
We're good.
Well, you know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're not alone.
Right. And that's really
Even so, like I was telling you earlier, even though you have to walk things out on your own,
right.
like nobody can walk that for you.
No.
At least you know you're not alone.
Right.
Amen.
Well, because that's what the enemy will tell you.
Yes.
Right.
He'll be like, nobody's ever been here before. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like this is the word. Like nobody's. Your depression's the darkest. You know,
Mhm.
like your
Mhm.
trials are the hardest. I think he comes at all of us like that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's the
Yeah.
temptation to get into that self-indulgent place where you actually throw everything away, because that's you know what your carnal mind wants.
Now, he
Mhm.
wants you isolated.
Absolutely.
He wants you isolated.
Yep.
Yeah,
It picks you off easier when you're by
Yeah,
yourself.
Absolutely.
right. But we're not
Mhm.
going there.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna let the Lord win,
That's right.
right? So
He won.
he does. He won and is winning.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
continual.
Yeah.
So, anybody? Do you have anything else to add?
No, we had to do a quick one today.
Yeah, it was a little short, but I still think it was good. Hopefully, it blesses people. But it's just always best to be transparent
Yeah.
and just walk with your people.
Well, because, yeah, there again, who would have guessed that, you know, the steamroller came after all of us. So, you know, it's like, well, then this is what it is. We're putting it
That's
out
what
there.
it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, what I've noticed is whenever you do open up and you start talking, and then you realize that other people are going through the same thing that you're going through, it just might look a little different.
Right.
Then you begin to see, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't just me. This is something that we're all going through right now, which makes you wonder then if you're all going through it,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord must be in it.
Yeah.
He must
Yeah.
be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there must be, like, on the other side of that hill, right? There must be some fruit coming out of it.
That's right.
And we're just going to believe it. We can't see on the other side of the hill, but there's some fruit there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Expedited growth, right? When the pruning starts to happen, it's because we're sprouting something new.
Yay.
Woo woo!
Yay.
We're celebrating.
It's
We're
good.
celebrating our suck. It's great.
Well, thank
that term, embrace the suck, is the military term, by the way.
Right. Maybe we need to have t-shirts that just say that.
Embrace the
Yeah, embrace the suck.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching us and listening to us today. We really appreciate you, and I hope that this just encouraged you, because it definitely encouraged me too.
Amen.
We
Amen.
love you guys. Bye.
Bye.